Hi and welcome to the Graphics Fairy YouTube channel and another Tag Team Friday. I'm Kate from Pixie K Designs and today we're going to be creating this tag. It's very simple. It lies really flat, so it's good for, apart from the bow, in junk journals and some writing space on the back. So the bundles that I have used Tattered Paper Treasures, and what I've used for that, and I've already cut them up, is the one of the washi tape printables, and I've printed that onto some sticker paper, and I've used pieces of that for up the top and making the whole reinforcer and for a little bit of interest down the side there. So that's the Tattered Paper Treasures 2 washi tape. I've used some of the frames that I've resized and I've printed on matte photo paper. I've used the Frames Vintage Album Frames bundle. I've used this beautiful piece of script for the front of the tag. I love this image. This one is from the Ephemera Romance bundle. It's just a very beautiful French script. And on the back I've used this blank music sheet manuscript, and this is from the Halle Brown bundle. Also, I've just used for my base just some manila folder and some tracing paper to put in the frame. I haven't put anything behind the frame because I didn't want to cover up the script, but you could easily slip something behind there, like some dried flowers or something like that would be really pretty. But yes, it is a very simple, quick tag to make this time. One of the things I really wanted to do was play with some of my white seam binding and play around with some of the ways that you can colour it. I have some more here. So this is actually done with tea, these bits. This bit is actually done with a Tim Holtz ink, the Speckled Egg. And I've got another one down here. This one here is done with the with the Antique Linen Distress Ink pad. That one's still drying actually. So those are the ones I've had a play with. I love the effect and sort of wrinkling it up. Basically all you need to do on a piece of plastic or glass or anything is swish your ink pad around. I'll do another vintage linen. So swish your ink pad around on something like a piece of acetate or some glass and give it a squirt with some water. Get your ribbon. And mush it into the colour. And if you want more colour, add more ink and more water. Just depends on how dark you want it. We could make this even more grungy by adding some maybe vintage photo. Ooh, that's going to be a lot, isn't it? But that's okay, we can give it a go, see how that turns out. So yeah, that's quite grungy. And the other, obviously the other way with the tea, and I just dump it in. Give it a good old wring out, and then again you can add water to this to dilute the colour a little bit if you want to, and then squeeze it out. And then just leave it to dry. So wrinkle it up to dry. And yeah, you'll end up with some different coloured seam binding, which is a great way to do it. A friend of mine reminded me of that not long ago. Alright, so my piece of cardstock or manila folder or whatever you've got is about just over 9 centimeters by about 20 centimeters, so it's quite a big tag. I haven't put anything in the top yet because I put some seam binding in and I thought it looked a little bit too much with the seam binding down here, so I haven't decided what I'm going to do at the top. So first things first, grab your script piece and tear it down to size, or cut it with your cutter. Either or is fine. Fold it down so you know you've got it the right width, so about there, and again you can tear it or cut it. And that will go on our base. And it is it's a bit shorter than my cardstock, so I will I'll either put some of that washi tape down there or I will shorten the tag. I'm going to use a little bit of the Antique Linen Distress ink just around this edge of this printable, just to hide the white edges. And then I'm going to glue it on. Just using a Scotch Create glue stick. Try and get good coverage so I don't get any bubbles. And then I'm going to try and get this on here and cover up the card as best I can. Try and get it all nice and straight. And just use something like a bone folder or a credit card to spread that glue and to smooth that down. So that's our front done. Our back, I'm using this piece of very old looking music paper. Okay, so we'll cut the top off here. And glue this on too. I've wanted to use the vintage photo frames for a while and I haven't really come up with any way to use them, so I decided that I was just going to use them sort of as a decorative item rather than worrying too much about what I was going to put in the frame. I thought I would just use it because they're beautiful and I like looking at them, and just leave it at that. Just trying to get that on so it covers the manila folder piece. Now I need to go and do a little bit of straightening up of my tag because it's not straight. Alright, so I've given that a little bit of a trim to try and straighten it up a little bit, and then I'm just going to go around again with the ink just to soften up those edges a little bit. Okay. Now, the frame I used on my one is the daffodils, but I think I want to use this one on this particular tag. So these I resized to about 9 centimeters wide, and then put them into a new. I didn't want to print them on my good photo mat paper, just one to a page, so I resized a few because I thought I'll definitely use them going forward because they're beautiful and I love them. So yeah, but I love the blue in this one. So that's hopefully just going to sit on there. Yeah, I think that's going to work nicely. Now, there's a couple of ways you can cut out the middle. You can use a knife. That's always really traditionally been the way that I have done it. The other way is you can stab a hole in the middle and cut to your corner very carefully. Because this is a heavier paper, I'm wondering if a knife would be a bit easier, but we will soon find out. These are new scissors as well, so they're very sharp, so I'm just trying to be aware of the fact of that. Right, and then you can go in and cut along those edges corner to corner, and it just makes it a little bit easier. Especially if you're using lighter weight paper, this is easier. But I just wanted to print this on something a little bit heavier. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around that edge with some ink to hide those little white bits. Just come in from the back here. Right, and the other thing I thought I might do with this one is use some gold. So this is my, it's just a Pebeo patinating wax. I'm not sure if it's the same as some of the other waxes that people use, but I found this on special in the art shop, so I grabbed some. Now, I just use my finger for this and just gently go around. It's hard to get it perfect. So there's a little bit of gold on there now. I think that's pretty. And I think I'll ink around the outside of the frame as well. Now I'm just going to grab a piece of tracing paper. You can use anything. You could use vellum, or what am I thinking, the glassine, if you have it. I have some glassine as well, but I'm just going to use this, and I'm just going to do that, and that just pushes back the script behind the frame, and I don't know, it just gives it another sort of layer, visual layer. I'm just going to use some double-sided tape around the edge here to adhere that tracing paper down. That should be adequate. And then just get my tracing paper and place it on. And because it's not being lifted up or anything like that, or having anything slid behind it, it's that's enough. And then I'm going to place my frame on there. Now you could make this into a tuck spot, and like I said, you could put some flowers behind here. I'm just going to use some glue stick around the edge of my frame and place it sort of, I guess, closer to the bottom than the top, maybe up a little bit more. It looks really pretty with the gold. I don't know if you can see the gold on there. Right, so the other thing I've done is I've just done some of the washi tape. So the ones I've used are the scripty sort of ones. I'm just not sure if I want to have any on this one. Why not? We'll put it on, and it's a different frame, so I wasn't sure what it will look like, but I might just put it there and wrap it round there. And I used this at the top, this one, as sort of a place to put a hole for the hole reinforcer. So I'll cut that. And this is, because it's on sticker paper, super quick and easy, which sometimes is what we want. We just haven't got time to do a big crafting session, so sometimes quick and easy is what we need. So I'm going to put that about there. And again, I'm going to wrap that around. And I'm going to use some of the cream tea dyed to do my little wrap around here and tie a bow. And you could glue that in place actually just at the back, and you could almost tuck something in there. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue, dot of glue on each side to hold it in place. Just here. Little dot of glue there. And a little dot here. And I'll just let that bow kind of go where it wants to. I want it to kind of look a little bit like it's been hanging around for a while. The way I made the hole reinforcer was, again, I used some of this washi tape, and the one I used was this music one, but I'm actually wondering what this one would look like. And basically what I did was I cut a circle. I'm not very good at getting the thing right in the middle, so I cut a couple of circles out of it, and then I got my smaller hole punch and I just sort of tried to get this in the center as best I could. And then I stuck this one down, but I'm not, I think I might have the pink and blue because there's a little bit of pink in here. Oh. And then I placed that in the center of that bit there. Made a hole. Oh, some of the backing hasn't come off there. There we go. Made a hole there and then repeated that with the other one. As best I can, getting that hole in the center. So that's a good way to make your own hole reinforcers. You can do that with any paper. It's really good. But yeah, it's good with the washi tapes because you've got lots of little samples of different tapes and things, different images. So yeah, I like that little bit of colour at the top there. Now the decision about what to put at the top, simple, because I didn't really like more ribbon. So I might just put a little bit of string for now and have a think about it. But you can put anything you like at the top, and you don't even really need a hole at the top. You don't have to. You can cut the sides here to make it more of a tag shape if you'd like to. But that's basically it. Super, super simple, easy, nice and flat, except for that bow, but that squashes down nicely. So there's nothing here really to bulk up your journal too much if you want a flat tag. And then you've got this bit of vellum, and again you could choose anything to go behind there, an image, or like I said, the dried flowers or anything like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.